Welcome back to spooky season. Today we tackle the most terrifying of all terrifyings. The remake. Oh God. This is Child's Play. The 2019 remake. Dear God, help us all. Yeah, they decided to remake Child's Play. So, I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and we're going to talk about it. I saw this with audio description, and you should too. William Michael Redman was on this, so, his greatness of of the horror narration was did the narration for this. Anyway, this is the one where Mark Hamill voices. So inherently, we're going to go ahead and take F off the table. F is not an option. I refuse to acknowledge, as much as people may be like, well, this is a misguided. I don't care. It gets points from Mark Hamill because Mark Hamill's voice work is great all the time, whenever, whatever he's doing. So excellent choice. If you're going to go down in a blaze of glory, hire Mark Hamill to try to save you. So this is a little bit of a different plot. And there were some things that I liked about it. And there were some things I didn't like about it. And there were some things that really made me go, so Megan was not really that inventive. So Child's Play stars really a group of kids, sadly kids that haven't really gone on to become more prolific actors in their generation. I thought specifically the one who plays Andy, he does good work here. The film's poorly written around him, but he's fine. These kids should still be working. Hopefully casting directors and stuff like that will stop looking at, oh God, you were in Child's Play 2019? Oh man, I don't know if we can put you in this. And just kind of look at their body of work and be like, oh, well, that's not bad. You're not a bad actor. Anyway, Aubrey Plaza's in here trying to do dramatic work as the mom of Andy. She's an odd choice, but, and really just never feels like a mom. But and Brian Tyree Henry pops up. I'm not really sure why. There's a neighbor who's a cop, and it's Brian Tyree Henry. The world does not need him in this movie. I'm a huge Brian Tyree Henry fan, but this movie didn't need him. The movie could have been written without him. The movie has enough going on with the kids. And then, I don't know, probably the other recognizable face you would know is Tim Matheson is in this. And when I say recognizable face, God help us. So, yeah, there's a new doll. It's called Buddy, and it's very like tech forward, very interactive. If you didn't see this, but you've seen Megan, it's like the precursor to Megan. It's not quite as humanoid as Megan. Is still a doll, but it's pretty close. It's far more developed for Chucky, considering they didn't do the whole let's put a soul inside of this doll thing. There's no voodoo here. There's no serial killer named Charles Lee Ray that gets himself put into a doll. This just is a buddy doll who glitches, and hilariously, the doll was given to Andy, and it's already sort of broken. It's a discarded doll. It's a return item at Aubrey Plaza's store, and she takes it and gives it to her kid. Love, so much love here. She's like, oh wow, my kid would love this broken doll. So she gives it to her kid, and he's trying to name it, and he wakes it up or whatever, and they're at the naming stage, and he's like, what's my name? And he's like, Han Solo. And the doll's like, did you say Chucky? And I was like, those two things aren't even remotely the same. Like, this doll was always like designed to be named Chucky, because you can't even mishear Han Solo and go, I'm sorry, did I hear Chucky? Like, they should have at least, I get, like, it's cute. Like, it's ha funny, haha. Han Solo, yeah, I'm sure a kid would pick that. Plus, we do have Luke Skywalker is doing the voice, so it's a little inside joke, but also sounds nothing like Chucky. So, we could have tried a little bit harder to come up with a cool name that sounded at least like it could be misheard as Chucky instead of Han Solo. Did you say Chucky? No, that's not even remotely close. So this AI wonder just basically ends up watching too much TV and turns into a violent nightmare from hell and starts killing things. And definitely has stepped up his game from Chucky. We are, if there's anything that we've become in 2019 when this movie, it's 2024 now, but 5 years ago, definitely more violent. We are a more violent people. We require our gore to be far more mean-spirited and in your face. So there's a face thing that happens here that just the way that they handle it was just where the kids just sort of like calmly are able to like gift wrap it and stuff. I was just like, no, this is dumb. This is really fucking stupid. This is really stupid. I mean, it kind of like hilariously, because of that, ends up getting like a little, like put away as a present. But at the same time, I was like, this is you've got 3 like preteens trying to calmly gift wrap anyway. So I didn't love this, but what I did love, what the movie does for a while and does a pretty solid job of, and then it kind of gives up on it, and then it kind of rejoins the challenge, is instead of it just making Andy actually has friends in this one. So there are other kids in this film. And I thought that worked really well for me. So it became, instead of about a whole bunch of adults who just keep like trying to gaslight Andy into, no, killer doll, that's not a thing. Like Andy basically in every other in the first film like knows no other children. He lives this quiet life where I don't even know if he goes to school in the first movie. Like, he just stays at home all the time and just, do you know any? No, I don't know any kids. What are children, sir? Oh, am I one? No, I know nothing like me. No, this Andy has so many friends. And then he has like tangential friends too, like this Omar kid that's like kind of a friend, but also not. Plus, the other cool thing is it plays around with how we have all this like connective shit. So if you have like one of those smart homes where like every single device is connected, well, this doll is created by a company that's like that, so they connect to everything else. So Chucky actually has access to a wide array of things at his disposal that he would not normally have, because he is a tech doll. So he's connected to all these different things through this company. So things like that are interesting. They're bold choices, and they're what make if you're going to remake the film and you're going to make choices, you're going to make it work. The things that don't make any sense are Brian Tyree Henry's character. I would just eliminate altogether. He doesn't even need to be in the film, and I'm never mad when I get to see Brian Tyree Henry, so it's not like I'm mad that he's in the film. He just need to be here. He serves no purpose. There's no real reason. The film could be made without him, and you wouldn't have noticed the difference. Now, Aubrey Plaza is a different thing altogether. I like Aubrey Plaza. I don't think she's a mom. I'm just going to go ahead and make that guess without Googling her. I'm pretty certain she doesn't have kids, because she seems like she doesn't have kids. And she seems like an actress that's been hired to watch a child. She seems like a babysitter is what is basically, she seems like a not great babysitter, like an okay babysitter, for Andy. And it just doesn't come across the same way, like, as other parents have in other films. So, those are some of the things that didn't work for me. Some of the deaths are a little over the top or silly. And so it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so which tone are you trying to have? Because I know that the Chucky franchise obviously was all over the map, but you are a remake, like a full-on remake, not a reboot, not a sidequel. There's no reference to Charles Lee Ray here. So you need to tread your own path. What kind of path do you want that to be? Because you can't be both goofy and legitimately scary at the same time. So it's trying to walk the line of being both, because it's like, well, what are people's expectations of a Child's Play movie? And it's like, I don't worry about people's expectations of a child. Their expectations at this point is A, why does this exist? And you need to answer that with B, because we had a bold new vision. And that bold new vision, it could be a horror comedy. You could lean into it, which would mean some of the other things don't work. Or it could just be like legit scary. And you could be like, did we finally make Chucky scary? And then like a whole bunch of people are like, yes, I guess you did. So the thing, it's kind of clunky and it doesn't work. It's not god awful, but I can see why we didn't make sequels to this, because it's whatever. Even though the film does, like you would expect it to, leave the door open for the potential of more Child's Play movies. It's been 5 years. If we were going to make a Child's Play sequel to the Buddy doll voiced by Mark Hamill, we would have made it by now. It ain't happening. So the question is, what is the future of this franchise now that Child's Play is not getting any more sequels and Chucky just got canceled? Where will it pop up next, and with who? And is the franchise dead? It's unlikely. But will it come back with Brad Dourif? Will they try to see what they can do with this Mark Hamill version, and it'll just be like a sequel like years later? I don't know. But Child's Play 2, but it's like 10 years later, and you're like, it took you 10 years to make a sequel to that movie? Anyway, I don't know. It's not the greatest film in the world, and compared to the other things, like, I enjoyed the fact that I felt that there was like this losers club that was fighting, it's sort of a it reference, fighting the doll instead of just Andy. Like, Andy actually had some friends that he could call on, and they were like, oh my god, what the hell? So that way it wasn't just, it changed it up and made it more interesting that way. So it makes some decent choices, but it has a lot of things that doesn't really do any better than the previous film. So it's a mixed bag. I'm going to throw it right in the middle and say I'm giving Child's Play a C. So I do think the original one sets the tone better, or tries to set a tone. It's really hard to judge the original one because the franchise goes in a different direction after that, because it's like they were like, oh, this will be scary, and then they find out it's not, and so they have to kind of change the tone a little bit on Chucky. So, but at least the first one tonally was trying to be one thing. This one is trying to be both things, and it doesn't quite work out. So that's it. Thanks for showing up again. And I will see you again with another spooky season review on the other side.